thinking about it. I've been thinking about all the things you do.
Hey fellow foodies, it's Faye from facefood.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make homemade strawberry shortcake ice cream. So we want to start out with some strawberries. We're going to wash them really well. We're going to cut the tops off, and then we're going to cut them into quarters, and we're just going to place them in our bowl. And what we're going to do is just sprinkle some granulated sugar over the top of our strawberries, and then we're going to cover this and let this sit. You can let it sit in the fridge or just at room temp overnight, but you want it at least 6 to 8 hours minimum. Overnight is fine as well. And what this is going to do is it's going to drain the excess liquid from the strawberries. We don't want that in our ice cream, so that's why we're doing that. Alright, so next what you want to do is we're going to make that strawberry crunch crumble that makes the shortcake so good. So in our bowl we have some vanilla pudding, flour, butter, and a little bit of vanilla extract. In our other bowl we have some jello mix with some butter and flour. And you just want to give this a mix and it becomes a crumble like this. Okay, so I have a silicone mat lined baking sheet. You can also use parchment paper and make sure to spray it well. But we're going to go ahead and bake this at 350 for about 10 minutes, making sure at the 5-minute mark to give it a mix so none of the pieces really burn. And after it cooks, this is what it's going to look like. It should look like this, a crumble. Alright, so now I'm going to just get my offset. A really good tool for this job is a metal bench scraper. You can just use that. And what you want to do is really break up the pieces and also mix them all together so that we get that famous strawberry shortcake crumble that is delicious. Alright, so once that's done, you can set this to the side. Alright, so now we can get started on our ice cream base. So to make it easier, this is actually going to be the base for both the vanilla and strawberry flavored ice cream. In our pot, we have some sugar, some milk powder, and some whole milk. We're going to just give this a stir until the sugar and the milk powder dissolves. This is over kind of a medium heat. And you just want to whisk basically until the powder and sugar dissolves. And once it does dissolve, what you can do is you can add in the cream. You want to make sure all your ingredients are at room temp because we don't want to cook cold cream and cold milk. It will curdle like that, so we don't want to do that. So you want to make sure it's at room temp. We added in the cream, and now what we want to do is just get it up to temp. We want to get it up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. And once it reaches that, you can go ahead and temper your milk mixture into your egg yolks. And what this is we're just adding in about a half a cup of our milk cream mixture into our egg yolks and whisking constantly. And this is allowing the egg yolks to come up to temperature so that when we add the egg yolks into the rest of the milk mixture, it doesn't scramble on us. So this is all that it's doing. It's called tempering. Alright, so you just want to add about a half cup or so. And once you do that, you want to add that egg yolk mixture back into your milk cream mixture. Whisk really well. And now what you're going to do is just cook this until it reaches 165 degrees Fahrenheit. This is going to take care of pasteurizing those egg yolks, so it's safe to eat. So really you just want to stir it every now and then with your rubber spatula, and we're cooking it till we get to 165. Right, so once we reach that temp, take it off the heat and add the vanilla extract. Now I add the vanilla extract always off heat whenever I'm making anything, and that's because that's just how I was taught. Vanilla extract kind of dissipates over heat, so I always add it off heat. So we mix that in, and then we want to put this in our ice bath. And you want to stir it every now and then while it's in the ice bath. And we just want to cool this down a bit. After it cools down a bit, what you can do is you can pour it through a mesh strainer, and you can see it does catch some of the egg yolks that have cooked. So you do want to make sure you do strain it. And this is basically our base all set and done. We're going to cover this bowl, let it come to room temp a little bit, cover the bowl, and then put it in the fridge till we're ready to actually churn it. So I want to show you what our strawberries have done overnight. You can see all that excess liquid that would have been in our ice cream. That's why we actually did that step. So you want to drain that excess liquid, and then set the strawberries to the side, and then you actually use your hand blender to puree the strawberries. So what I'm doing now is I put about half of the ice cream base in a bowl, and I put the strawberry puree mix in there, and I'm gonna blend this all together. Now if you want a super smooth strawberry mix, what you can do is after you blend this up, you can strain it again to catch any, bigger chunks of strawberries. I really don't have that issue. I don't mind it, so I decided not to do it. But if you prefer it that way, you can do it that way. Right? So now we have our vanilla base and we have our strawberry base ready to go. We have our ice cream machine ready to go. And now we're going to start with the vanilla ice cream base. And the reason for that is because if we start with the strawberry base, it will kind of blend into the vanilla. I'd rather the vanilla blend into the strawberry, if that makes sense. So you just want to follow the instructions of your machine. I have a Cuisinart, and it takes about 20 to 25 minutes for it to fully churn with this machine. So it's going to look like soft serve. It's going to be semi-melted. That's totally fine. We're just going to put it in a container. I actually froze this container for about 20 minutes or so. Whatever container you're putting it in, you want to make sure it's ice cold. All right. So I'm just going to cover this and put this in the freezer just so it doesn't melt even more on us. And then we can work on the strawberry base and churn that. So same thing, I'm going to churn this for about 20 to 25 minutes. And then we'll get our strawberry ice cream set to go. And again, this is also going to be somewhat melted. That's totally fine. That's because also that we're doing two bases, and if you have a kind of a, I guess, less expensive, less powerful machine like I do, it's not gonna be built for that. So the longer you run your machine, kind of the hotter it will get. So you really want to work quickly. Once the strawberry base was done, I did the same thing. I just put it in a pre-frozen container, let it sit in the freezer for a bit. This is also a pre-frozen container. This is my ice cream container that I bought from Amazon. I'll leave the link in the description box below. I love using it whenever I make homemade ice cream. It's just so convenient. Now, here's what I did. I actually layered it up. You can do this however you want. If you don't like your ice cream super textured, you just like smooth, creamy ice cream, I wouldn't recommend layering it like I am. But I actually love those crunchy bits throughout, so that's why I'm doing this. So if you want to just leave a smooth, creamy ice cream, I would just add the crumbles on the last layer. Like this. And that'll be more than enough for you. And you'll always have your bowl if you want to add some more on top of your cone or your bowl of ice cream. Right? So I've layered it all up. I'm going to cover this and place it in the freezer overnight. And then it will be ready to go. So the next day, what you want to do is, once you're ready to serve it, you do want it to come up to temper, which will take maybe 15, 20, 25 minutes. It really depends on the temperature of your room. But if you don't, it will be rock hard like it is for me here. So you really got to be patient and let it sit out and let it melt just a little bit. Or you're going to have a tough time scooping it out like I am. All right, so do as I say, not as I do kind of thing. Right, but this is our finished ice cream. I hope you guys give this a try. It is really good. The ice cream's creamy. You really get that strawberry shortcake flavor, and you saw how easy it was to make. The full recipe will be on facefood.com. Comment below if you have any comments or questions. Spring is on the way, summer's on the way, so I figured why not get a head start, especially if you're in the Midwest like I am. Winter's been rough, so you gotta enjoy it somehow. So anyways, for the full recipe, like I said, go to facefood.com. Subscribe to the channel for more great videos on the way. And like this video if you like it. And until next time, I hope you have a wonderful day.
I've been reading you to figure what you're down for. I wanna figure out to make it come around. But we should quit the game and settle things right here, right now. I've been thinking about it. I've been thinking about all the things you do. I wanna take you from